We're gonna kick this one's ass. We were struggling on a video earlier. Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to this video. My name is Chris. I'm a creative entrepreneur, and today I'm gonna talk to you about loneliness, because loneliness might be one of the most confusing things I think any entrepreneur goes through. It can be extremely confusing, but extremely impactful and beneficial on your journey. So if you're going through loneliness, in this video, I'm gonna teach you the importance of your loneliness and how to take full advantage of it, because it's happening for a reason. And I don't wanna say that just to be like, you know, the spiritual woo-woo, like everything happens for a reason, but it has a very important reason in your life and your career, and let's get into it. So number one, loneliness happens on our journey when we kind of go from this stage, or when you go from this stage of essentially like being around everybody is essentially based on your conditioning, which essentially is like what your parents and everybody taught you. And there's this really good song by Matthew Decay called The Four Agreements. It's not the book, but it's an audio that essentially teaches you all about life in 7 minutes. And it talks about everything from your name to what you like, what you dislike, what you believe in is essentially from your parents. And it's essentially you as a kid from ages, I think about 1 to 7, you watched your parents, you learned from your parents, and you became a micro version of your parents, and they conditioned you to understand their beliefs and everything that they believed in, even though you had a separate belief system and a separate mission and everything else, right? So then there comes this important time in our life where we have to discover who we really are, not what everybody around us likes, and not blending everybody else's dreams and all that conditioning or all those patterns that we learned, but we have to figure out what we truly want. And this comes at a time in life too. It's kind of weird because you go around from being around a lot of people that are just like by yourself, and it's almost like, did I do something wrong? Is this something that I did, or like what's going on here? And that can be the confusing part, because you feel like you did something wrong, but it's not wrong at all. It's actually the universe, God, or whatever you believe in, giving you the time to fully understand who you are, what you want, and how you can bring it to life. And the most confusing part about this that you might be going through is essentially like, you can be like, but I want to be around all these people. And here's an example of how it's beneficial. So for instance, like a couple startups I was working on building were health and wellness. And my friends at the time, the people I was hanging around, they loved health and wellness. And I was essentially, you know, in a sense too, I believe artists and creatives as a whole are very intuitive. We're very sensitive, right? It's how we create what we do. But it was like my aura, this energy bubble around me was just like kind of like distorted and clogged with other people's ideas and wishes. And I thought they were mine because I would act on these visions. I was like, ooh, yeah, building like this fitness platform would be really dope. And I was a little bit into fitness at the time, but still I built it and I was like, why is nobody showing up? And then as I found solitude, or, you know, went through the loneliness that turned into understanding it as solitude, I was like, oh my God, I wasn't interested in that. That was their ideas and that was their dreams, and I was confusing it as my ideas and my dreams and stuff that I wanted. Because here's the real key to all this too, is like, it's not loneliness. You're going into a stage of solitude where you get to fully understand yourself. And until you pretty much clear out all the energy of everyone and everything around you, that's when you get to truly sit with yourself. And like I said, it can be so confusing to you because you're just like, why is everybody leaving me? What's happening? Like, what did I do? But then as you go into the journey and you really lean into it, and by leaning into it, I mean, really just like owning it and being like, fine, if I'm going to be lonely, I'm going to love this. And it's in that process of unfolding it that you truly get to find out who you are and what you love. And this is important for entrepreneurs, because as you go from that stage of like loneliness to understanding it as solitude, this means like your purpose in life is coming to you, and it has to come to you by simply being surrounded by yourself and only by yourself, because you don't want that kind of like, I call it like psychic distortion. You don't want other people's thoughts and energies influencing what you want to build, because this is you. So you have to sit with yourself. You have to be with yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to understand exactly everything that you want to do. Not everybody around you wants to do, but what you want to do and what you want to create. And the only way to really do that is to be by yourself, to be in solitude, to sit with yourself and understand, if you're bored, what do you want to do? You know, what problems are in your life? What solutions do you want to create? And how can you best create those solutions? Because once you understand your own inner problems and your own inner turmoil, then you can start to create solutions. Because I would say the most important thing you can do as an entrepreneur is know exactly what you have a problem at in life, and how you would create a solution. Because when you do that, other people are going to jump on board with that solution, because you're essentially speaking a problem that you're feeling, but nobody else has spoken out about it. So you get to essentially lead or pioneer this with your brand, with your personal brand, with your service, with whatever you're creating. And you get to the root of that in solitude. And I'd say solitude is advanced loneliness, right? Because on this journey for me personally, it was like, where's everybody at? Why are they not here? What did I do? Like, maybe I'm the crazy one. But then it turns into this essence of wanting to be alone and being like, oh, I really enjoy this. Like, I'm really understanding who I am, what I want, what problems I have in my life, what solutions I could create for other people. And then when you start speaking it and it's authentic and true, and you start putting it out there, it solves the problems of a lot of people around you. And it's really cool because you go from this stage of loneliness and solitude, which you actually start loving solitude. And that's when it actually starts like trying to pull you out of it, because you're like, no, man, I love being alone. Like, this is nice. Like, I really enjoy it. It's really peaceful. But you can't stay in solitude forever, because humans thrive on connecting with others. But it's in that state that you truly understand who you are, what you want to build, what problems you have, what solutions you have. And when you speak it out there to other people, you're the pioneer. You just solved the problem that a lot of people have, but you were the first one to speak about it, because you got so clear in sitting with yourself and spending time alone and just understanding fully what those problems are, and then offering a solution. And when you're able to offer a solution, you've solved the problem for yourself. And like I said, you're going to also solve that problem for a bunch of other people. And that's going to start to build your community. That's going to start to build your following. And if you're an entrepreneur and building a brand or a personal brand or a service, like, the key, and this we'll do a full video on later, but I want to put this in this video, is like the key is building a community and building a following. Because once you have a strong community and following, and you solve a specific problem that you know every angle of and you're an expert in, you're going to start connecting and pretty much aggregating people into your life who have these problems, and you're the one who's solving it. And by solving it, you're creating connection. By creating connection, you're creating value. By creating value, people are looking up to you, and when they have a problem, they're going to come back to you. And not only that, when you change an aspect of their life, they feel very connected to you, because you're like literally their savior in a sense, but not in a sense like you're up on a pedestal. You're just like, you're the problem solver of the group, and they want to be around you whenever they have problems. But as you connect with this community and you understand what problems you're solving, you're really able just to continually drop another product, another service, whatever you're creating, you're dropping it in this group, and you don't have to essentially find people to sell it to. You have everybody around you who needs it. And by listening to these people, when you come out of solitude, you're able to fully understand what they're needing, and you have the solution to it. So guys, if you're going through a tough time of feeling loneliness, like, honestly, the universe is just leading you, or God is just leading you to your purpose, to a true understanding of who you are as a person and what you came here to do. It's not a punishment. Don't think about it that way. You got to look at it as, this is solitude. This is time for me to understand who I am, what I want, what problems I have, what solutions I can bring, and how I can do that to attract other people back into my life. Because after times of solitude, you're really going to find your community, your tribe, the people around you that you're meant to be a part of or help out in this life. And by doing so, you're going to create the greatest sense of community and connection around you that is not only going to help you, but it's going to help the people that you're with. So guys, thank you so much for listening to this video. Hopefully you're coming to the end of your solitude, and you can get out there and you can connect with your future community or your audience and really help them with everything that you've learned in life and everything that you came here to do. Peace.